What's up guys, welcome back to another drawing tutorial. Today we have Naruto versus, we have Kurama versus Sasuke's Susanoo, his complete Susanoo. I think this is from their final fight, I can't remember. It's got like big waves and stuff. We'll do our best to add those waves. It kind of reminds me of that, there's a very famous Japanese painting of Mount Fuji. I think that's where the inspiration for the background comes from anyway. But I'm on landscape paper. Use a pencil and eraser for this. Sketch it out slowly. Take your time. And try to have fun. So, couldn't fit in like all of their body. Couldn't fit in Kurama's tails. So, it's just because the image itself is like real skinny. Like it's skinnier than my page. So, scaling issue. But I fit it in as much as I can. So, let's start with Kurama's head. Okay, so we'll go center point here, up over to the right. He's kind of like here, and then the Susanoo's here. We can't see the Susanoo's face because it's like behind his arm, but we'll draw as much as we can. So what can we see? Okay, so curved line, teeth. Right, little teeth, and then a big fang there. And then it's kind of like drawn in kind of roughly, but he's got like more teeth coming back this way. So that's his mouth, right? And it comes down there. And then we have a little bit of a nose just on top. So I'm doing this from the manga now, so it's kind of drawn kind of sketchy and stuff. And then his snout will come back this way. So there's, you know, it's kind of like a dog shape to his head. Well, fox, should I say. And then we kind of step up for his brow. And then it'll go backwards that way. And then it goes up this way. Then it comes back. So this is his ear, okay? Comes back in towards his head. And like the back of his neck then comes down this way. So we can just draw it in kind of roughly like that. Then we can see the other ear coming out like so. And there is, because it's a manga drawing, it's like there's some hatching and stuff like so. So then his chin comes down from like maybe like his bottom lip or something's there, and then his mouth comes down, chin comes around, down, like so, and then his neck is like drawn in with sort of hatching on the side there. So his eye, so it's like, it has like a black shadow around it. So it's, let's see. So we'll go up, down, around, like that, right? And then we add this sort of black line around like so. And it comes back around towards his nose. You're just sort of thickening up around the eye like that. And then he has those cheek lines on his face. And we can make him a bit thicker. So, then like maybe some lines like that. Right, so his shoulder just goes off my page back here. It's a very common image. If you have more room here, you can just Google this image. Just go Kurama versus Susanoo. And it's one of the first ones that comes up. So if you need to see what it looks like, you can. And then armpit this way, right? We'll get his body in and then we'll do that arm. So his body just comes down like so. And sticks out for his hip, kind of that way, right? And then we can have like his chest or diaphragm sort of under here. And so he has, in this mode, this sort of, you know, he's yellow, the yellow mode, QB mode, or Kurama mode, I can't remember what it's called. There's so many different names. He's got these black lines, you know, coming around, so I'll just draw those in. And go around his shoulder as well. Like so. Right, so then his leg. So it comes out this way for his thigh. Meet his knee roughly here, and then that goes back that side. And then the inside of his calf there. And then it kind of just sketch goes back this way. There's no real muscle definition or anything, it's just kind of like this. And then he has another sort of symbol here, so it's like an oval shape. It's because his hips are tilted back this way, that's why it's not a perfect circle. We go again around. So like when you're drawing things like, you know, like tattoos and these kind of circles, you have to think the way the body is going, you know, so it doesn't sort of line up completely. And then it sort of comes down his leg this way, back in, like some lines here, some hatching at the bottom, and then this one comes back to there, around this way, and then off my page that way. And they're just like colored in black. Right, so we can see one of his tails coming out here. And it's like all chakra-y. Right, so it's got like all this flame and stuff on it like that. And then we can see one coming out from underneath here. So it goes back that way. And it's got a black line going down it as well. And then another one comes down around here. And this has a black line kind of curving around. So I think that's actually this tail. So it's all part of it, joined together. Like so. Then his arm, right? So this arm kind of comes out from the top of it, is like his bicep sort of area, comes out from there. And then his armpit comes out this way. And then his forearm up, and then it gradually gets skinnier as we go towards his wrist, right? Into there. And then the top of the forearm here comes back like so. So what we can see of his arm, right? It's like his elbow or something. So the fist kind of comes out the top here, right? But it's kind of like a broken line because his hand has all this chakra on it and stuff like that, right? So his first knuckle or fist will come down this way, and then we go in, and this will meet his thumb just here, right? Like so. And then this will step back this way up to there, and he has some fold lines and a black line around, wrapped around his hand, kind of here, like a thick one. It's kind of the same as this stuff, this symbols, right, so on his fist as well. And then this knuckle comes back, this one comes out to there, and then more knuckles kind of step down like so, and then another one comes across. This one will go back into the palm of his hand. You can see the underneath of this one. Like so, down, across, up. And then we've all this chakra sort of coming off his hand, right? So it like comes out like spikes, kind of like this. Back into his hand like that. Something similar. It's kind of like flame, you know. So it goes up like so. Down around to there. And you could have like bits of flame and stuff. Bits of chakra. Coming off like so. And maybe another one sort of down here. Like so. Right, so the Susanoo, right? So we'll do sort of the fist. What we can see. So because the thumb, so we'll do the arm coming back this way. You can't see Susanoo's face. Right, so it's the opposite, right? His thumb is on the other side of his hand, on this side, right? So it's like, and we can see his little finger. So it's the other side of the hand, you know, because it's opposite sides kind of thing. So Susanoo's throwing his right hand, and so is Kurama. Yeah, so it's opposite shoulders, so we can see the other side. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sense. So, top of his fist, kind of here. And then his little finger. Down like so. And then this will come around underneath. And it kind of wraps around into the palm of his hand there. Around like so, right? So it's kind of like all scrunched up, right? That's like his little finger. And then next one, underneath this one, right? So we go diagonal and then across, and then it kind of comes up to there. And then next finger. So it's not all drawn in. So it'll go like across here. So up this way. And then we can have a line of chakra that kind of comes out up here, not really a finger. So it kind of just goes up around like a flame sort of thing. Like this. And back into like his hand there somewhere, and then more chakra purple. Coming down like so. Right? And there can be some escape shapes of chakra, like Kurama, just with a purple color. Right, so what we can see of his thumb then, down here. Right, like that. Some hand lines going back this way, palm of his hand. There, so you're just kind of describing it roughly, you're not even drawing in the whole thing. So in the back of his hand kind of comes down here, and he has a wrist, like a pad on the back of his hand like that. And then we have purple chakra, fire, flame sort of thing. Coming back from that hand. Like so. Right, so then the rest of his arm comes back, and every now and then you'll have like a spike just coming off, right? Like, you know, chakra sort of flame coming back this way. Right? This is the kind of direction. There seems to be some hatching or something. Come back that way. Right, so we can just see kind of his sleeve here, right? Just these kind of lines. And then he's got a baggy part. So if his sleeve comes off there. And then this will go back this way. Real long. And then top, sort of baggy as well. So we've got these bumps and stuff coming back towards his shoulder. Right? So then he has like a big shoulder line and then a shoulder pad, right? So shoulder line will go back this way. This will eventually go off my page now, so we'll go back there somewhere. You know, if you want, hatching can be added, but there is a lot, so you don't have to do it all already. Lines like so. So, can't see his head. You can just see kind of the chakra of his head and like his shoulder pad. So say like shoulder pad here, right? And then the corner of it is like there. There's all sort of catching here because that's all in shadow. And then his shoulder pad will go back that way. Does it go off my page? Yeah. And then the other end of it comes into there. And then we have one there. And there's like all hatching in underneath here. Just to darken it up. Because that's underneath, right? And then we have purple flame chakra sort of coming out from here. And remember, like this stuff moves all the time, so it's like, it doesn't have to be exactly like mine. Why did I do that way? That way. It's up around his shoulder. There's some back here. I think it's like his hair or something back here. And then some at the front. Right, and goes down behind his arm. That's all we can see of his head, basically, right? So now it's just like body and wings. So he's wearing a kimono and he's got like lots of armor and stuff like this. So let's see. Curved line coming down that way. And then this is tucked in behind a belt, right, which curves down there. And then there's another sort of line for his kimono there. And then we have an armor plate on the side of his body there. And this has another section inside with padding, right? So with this kind of padding stuff on it. And then diagonal lines going up here. And they're drawn quite roughly. It's not, you know, everything's not completely described. What I mean is like the artist sort of did it sort of quick and stuff. So, you know, we can't do it that quick. Well, I can't do it as quick as him. It takes me ages. You know, these manga artists are super talented people. They're drawing this all day, every day. They know the characters like the back of their hand. So he's got like another fold here. And then the front of his belly sort of line there. And then that comes down like so. And there's like a clothing line just here. Comes down there. And another line here. And this comes down. These lines. And then we can see another armor pad over this side, with the back of it. So it like goes there, has an edge line, and then some hatching. Like so. Okay, then this comes down this way. And it has a line in the middle, goes back that way. So we can kind of see his knee and he's got like a, it's like a Scottish kilt kind of thing. So it comes down this way. And his knee sort of sticks out here and then goes back that way. And then there's some clothing lines sort of bumping their way around here. And there's like a fold and some lines like this. So there's like a fold line coming down this way. And then the lines for his thing will follow that. So like for his kilt sort of thing. I don't know if you know what a Scottish kilt is, but it's kind of like a dress that men wear, or skirt. Traditional Scottish clothing. Right, so what we can see then, there's a wave like coming up on the inside here. And we can see like his knee and things. So it's gone that way. So, oh man. Okay, so I'd say like the back of his knee is there. And then there's like all this spiking kind of wave coming in here. Like this sort of watery kind of stuff. Like that, and then the back of his leg goes back that way. And there's like some fold lines that go underneath here. Another one going up that way. There. There. Right, so to do the waves and stuff, you need to sort of add like lots of texture and things like that, so it's a bit tricky. Okay, so we have another big piece of chakra coming down here. And then his sword sticks out sort of this way. Goes behind that chakra. Or like the hilt of his sword, you know, sort of. I don't know if it's actually the sword or like the bit that like hangs down on his waist. Right, so then what we can see of his wings, sort of this chakra sort of stuff. Coming up around this way. And then another one coming out from here and goes around back into there. And then there's all texture lines and stuff on this wing, so it's like they're kind of made of paper or something. They're not sort of it's like this kind of pattern. This kind of repeating sort of square-like pattern. Right, like that. And then if you want, like there's a bit of wave down here. If you want, you can add all the shapes for the waves, right? So I'll do it quickly, right? So it kind of comes down. It's all this. Like real spiky kind of lines like so. Come crashing, so crashing this way and then crashing this way. They're kind of meeting one another in the middle. And I'll just do it in kind of quick and sketchy. You're just adding all those sorts of lines inside and then crashing down this way. And eventually it'll like curve here. This is optional, of course, and they kind of meet in the middle, both sides, right? There's like this peak and then it goes down, right? So this sort of and then it comes up Kurama's side, underneath his tail, and around the other side. You can add as much texture as you want to it. You can see now how fast I'm doing this. It's just, you're just kind of adding these spiky. I'm trying to imagine being a manga artist and doing it as quickly as I can. You know, you're under pressure for deadlines, stuff like that. So, you know, as quickly as you can without compromising what it is you're trying to do. So, is that going behind his head? Oh, it kind of goes back. Down that way. There's like some more flame chakra here. And then right, and then like this will have like loads of lines coming down. The watery. Right, so like that. And then there's all circles and dots and some actually like on Kurama as well. Can't see much on Susanoo, but I guess this is like splashing and rain and some vertical lines going down. And we can do, you know, as much of that as you want. So it's right, but there's way more of these dots and splashes and stuff like that in the picture, and all this rain line. But I will let you add to that if you want. I'll leave it there. That's how to draw Kurama versus Susanoo. Hope it was helpful, guys. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.